Session of City Council meeting to order. Roll call.
Mrs. Bastelli?
Here.
Mr. Palum?
Here.
Mr. Siriani?
Here.
Dr. Selly?
Here.
Mrs. Billings?
Here.
And I hereby certify this meeting has been published in the newspapers in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and posted as required by law.
Thank you very much. We have 4 items on the agenda. The first 3 will all be discussions by Director Roebuck. It's like the workshop of Director Roebuck.
J. Roebuck evening here tonight. 12 minutes. Do you want to do the quick things first, or do you want to do the longer things first?
Whatever works for you, sir.
Do you want to do first?
This schedule.
If you want to do Ocean Avenue first, we'll do that.
That's fine.
Okay. I figure this is going to be a longer one, actually. Okay, so Ocean Avenue traffic plan. This is Brighton Avenue. What we're considering doing this year is, because we have a lot more room here, since this doesn't show our nice brand new boardwalk yet, we have a lot more room here. So we're considering letting traffic come through here, be able to load and unload beach patrons there. We'll make a couple parking stalls, 5-10 minute parking. They can unload, and then they'll go this way out, and they can park in all our spots down here. We're continuing down across and park here, where you see them during the summer. They all park down Weston Avenue, and they'll even park across 2nd Avenue here at Kingsville. So that was our proposal, to do that this year. Bring it in that way. We have a lot more room here than we used to have. We would shut this off here at West End Avenue, and there would be no vehicular access from there all the way to South Bath. All these streets would stay closed as they've been since Sandy, pretty much. They all close off. Howland and Kiernan and Vine.
Is there one apartment complex that needed the access though?
No, all the parking spots for these are in the back, actually, and we spoke to them, and I think they're all good with it. Eventually, we might do something with that there, either give it back to them or have them do. They can also, if they wanted to, they can put in their own access lane if they want to do that. And again, it's probably going to be a 1-year fix until we figure out what we're going to do down there full time, and we're going to see how it works this summer. But since they just got done the last few weeks, we're trying to rush and get this open, and we're going to keep these blocked off, at least for now. So you'll have access. So this will all be foot, no vehicular traffic, all the way down here until you get to South Bath. From there, it'll be one-way northbound with parking. It's already struck parking all the way on the west side until we get down to Pavilion. And just 2-way in Pavilion from Morris Avenue to Pavilion, because this guy here with the Ocean Court Motel has to have access, at least for now. We're also trying to work with him in the future to figure out a way that maybe we can just keep this one way in the future, because he needs to get his people over to this lot he has. So, let's see what happens. He has a secondary lot here, so if we didn't keep this 2 ways, people would have to drive all around the lot to get there. So for now, we're going to keep it that way until we can maybe work something out with having him drive across here, put in a bigger lot or something like that. We have a couple plans in the works for that. So that's what we have on tap for now, and we'll continue all the way down here into Pier Village, and eventually when this gets done, it'll jog around. So.
And then going into Pier Village 3, that would be 2-way also?
Yeah, I believe it has that, it goes in this way, and then you have the jog that comes around. I forget the plans that look, but...
Yeah, but that's not open yet. That part's
No, that's not going to be open.
No.
This is still closed. Right now, it's
2-way.
It's 2-way, correct.
So it'll remain
Yep.
2-way?
Yep.
Jay, I gotta tell you, I'm really concerned, I mean, you and I had this discussion on that change of plan between Brighton and West End. Because, I mean, just my own experience, I think it's great that you're cutting off at West End, because, you know, prior to Sandy, even those cars coming down from Howland and making a right.
Yeah, it was
I
kind of a
mean,
mess.
everybody got together. I was walking with my son.
People walking their dogs,
So-
cars driving. It wasn't a good thing.
So I'm now really concerned about Brighton coming around to West End, making that one way, because now, even where it was a problem there between Howland and West End, here now you have the concession stands, people coming on and off the beach, people who are used to walking between Brighton and West End, and why don't you just leave it the way it was? In other words, if you cut off everything else, why not just stop as you have in the past with
We
West
can,
End and Brighton?
the only problem is.
We need a feeder into West End.
West End Avenue then has to be two-way, and how do you turn someone around down there?
You
You
gotta,
know? Otherwise, there's no other way to get into West End Avenue unless you bring people through here again, and we really didn't like that.
But-
We kind of think there's more room here than there is up there, and there's a bigger area where we can
But
kind
so,
of delineate it.
but envision this though, I mean, concession stand, people coming off the beach, a couple of cars parking and dropping off.
Mhm.
It would seem to me that at the height of the season, that could easily sort of build up along there, right? Somebody waiting, you know, somebody parks and moves a little to the side and somebody's behind them.
Right, I don't think we're gonna put the spots right next to it, they're gonna be off, you know, a ways, so people aren't gonna be doing it right there, they're gonna be kind of off a ways, not right next to the.
But then
concession
also,
stand.
if you're blocking off, why do you need the feeder?
because you have all that parking on West End.
But I mean, but
Avenue.
they didn't really feed on West End in the past, right?
Yeah, it kind
No, I
of
like
came this
parking
way.
there.
Okay,
I'm
now,
sorry?
You had them
It came the
coming
other way.
around the other way.
Right, it used to come around this way and they would feed into their.
It's gonna be 6 of one or a half dozen of the
Right.
other.
My concern there, Jay, is losing 10 to 15 parking spots. We're not gaining any parking spots by going the other way and by coming
Where we losing 10 or 15 parking spots.
down Vine, around there. And I don't see us gaining any coming from Brighton and going around.
We're losing parking spots that we haven't had for a while because of the storm, and I think they're a little happier with people not parking there too. And we can't get people in there, you know, again, without putting a vehicle on the Green Acres part and having them drive through there.
Well,
So-
the other concern I have is it possible to have, to separate that portion? I don't know if it's wide enough, but to have a pedestrian,
Yeah, it's gonna look really ugly.
yeah.
That's the only issue.
What, those orange
People have to stay on
things?
the boardwalk.
We'd have to put the big orange things up and, you know, I don't think it's gonna look really ugly, that's.
Can we, I'm just brainstorming. How about on the east side of that road, yellow stripe it,
East side of.
from Brighton to West End?
Mm-hmm. Here,
Yeah.
east side of that road there?
East side of that road, yellow stripe it. I mean, you can walk on
Yep.
that, but at least people,
We
if
could do
they
something.
come,
Right.
they can't park on the
And-
boardwalk
and
side of
what
it.
we're planning on doing is having someone there, we're gonna have a special
Special.
one.
That was my concern, because I could see
Yeah.
people, and even kids, who want to just ride around there, ride around there.
Possibly, yeah, I mean,
And-
but we're gonna plan to have one or two guys there, so, hey, listen, you can only be here for 5 minutes. What we want to do is get people there to get their things out of the cars, so they can go park elsewhere.
How'd they do it before this?
They can park all the way down here and walk,
We
which
used
they
to
can do.
come around the other
Which they
way.
can do. Yeah, either that
You
or.
came around the other
We went
way
the other
and
way,
you
then they
pulled
parked
up
there and came
and you
around.
unloaded and then you went and
Yeah, we were
parked.
just trying to make it a little easier, and we have such a nice area down here now and open to try to get some more people down in this area of the beach. I mean, the last year, we didn't have a lot of people there because the boardwalk was being built even a year before that.
Jay, can you open that up a little bit?
Sure.
Or specifically at Brighton and where the concession stand,
Yeah,
I
this
guess you
is-
don't have it in that
The
image.
This is all-
concession
Oh,
stand
yeah.
now is
No,
flush
no,
on the
I know
board.
where it is. I mean, can you come way up, can you bring it way out so that we see where Brighton and West End?
You want it out, or?
Yeah, or just bring the old concession stand down.
No, slide it down.
Yeah.
That's it.
There?
That's the intersection up there.
Yeah, we have a lot more room there than we had.
Jason, that's a public street, the next street is a public street, no?
This one?
Yeah, that's Brown.
So can Browning be used as a turnaround?
Turn
I
around,
mean, to come up Browning and around?
around. You have to come, well, you have to come here, through here. And again, you know, again, you have the same issue of people walking next to the cars. You have less of an issue, but you still have the same issue. Because you're still gonna take this right, and you still have people
Right,
walking.
it just seems like a shorter amount of space.
It is. It is.
I don't like opening the road.
Hmm?
I don't like opening the road.
Opening
You don't
this-
like what?
I don't like opening that road,
Brighton to,
like Brighton to West End.
Yeah,
I think it takes away from the whole ambiance of
Yeah.
the boardwalk and how it's been you know, pretty much no traffic there, and, you know, people adjust. If they have to go schlep their stuff, they schlep their stuff. It's just my opinion.
What we'll end up doing then is probably taking a couple spots here and making a turnaround so people can get in and out.
Right.
So then it's become
That was the original
two-way.
plan, right.
It's
We'll
become
make
a
it
two-way.
Two-way, so they'll come in and they'll be able to turn around here, maybe do a K-turn, do a little circle, and they'll come in here and they'll park there. And that was the original plan before we thought about the right now. Then was do that
I
way.
really think that'd be a lot safer,
Okay.
and I agree with you answer that, just aesthetically, it's much.
We could even, why they make a drop-off spot here and there too.
I mean, I go to Cottage Place, and I know they pull into Cottage Place, they turn around, they drive
Right.
away.
Right.
You know? So I,
Right. Okay.
And you have people on bikes, strollers, and again, I'm just thinking with my own son, I mean, you know, he's,
They're not paying attention. Right.
yeah.
Okay.
and we got a beautiful entrance to the boardwalk down there, we just,
Yeah, we want to bring you a few different ways to do it, but if that's what you guys are comfortable with, that's more than fine with us.
You're okay with losing your parking spots?
yeah, I'm gonna, rather than open the road, yes.
I mean,
does.
over there.
And where's the bike path?
I'll see that it does, right?
There is, well, the bike path won't be in here if we decide to do a bike path. We're gonna put some signs up this year, since it's still being worked on, it'll say like bikes to the left, people walk to the right, that kind of thing. You know, you have to have 5 feet for a bike path, according to
You
DOT.
know,
So,
for traffic.
don't know if we want to mark one out there or not, it's still something we're working on. And the problem with doing it, it's not saying that people can't ride bikes there, because they can. The problem with laying a bike path is that eventually come up to
We're getting a nosebleed.
here, right? And where do they go? There's no, it just ends. I mean, they can get in traffic, which is what they're gonna have to do, and just drive with traffic, which maybe that's the answer, you know, is to ride with traffic once they come, you know, they're not supposed to ride against it, they're supposed to ride with it, so they can blend in with traffic, and maybe we can have the bike path and, you know, maybe you can see the old one there. That's probably still there.
But Jay, will that be any different than what we had pre-Sandy anyway? I mean, was
Not
the bike
really.
path on the right?
Not really, it'd be a little bit different, I don't know if we have as much room there, but we're gonna do something with it this summer. I don't know if we're gonna paint lines and actually put down bike marker, or do some kind of marker to delineate it. Bikes
Like,
on one
what
side.
would you do?
Bikes on one side, like a sign, bikes on this side, walkers, strollers, dogs on the other side, that kind of thing.
Would that be something different than those current signs, which kind of
Went all over the place.
flow with the wind and with everything else?
Yes, they're gonna do something, yeah. I don't wanna put the little signboards down there, because they'll either get lost, they'll get thrown on the beach, or, you know, someone has in their house, because someone might take it away. So, yeah, we're gonna figure out something to do for this year, and then if we wanna put down a bike path later, or.
And the reason for not putting down the bike path now
We're
is?
just trying to figure out how it's all gonna work.
I see.
We're still kinda under, you know, construction and figuring out how this whole thing's gonna plan out.
So what were you thinking, like maybe those rubber pole type things?
Something like that. The traffic guys have an idea of how they wanna do it and how they wanna delineate it, because there's, you know, with the boardwalk being bigger, you don't have quite as much room as we used to have, which is also the problem here. We wanted to do a bike path there throughout the whole thing, but you don't really have the room in certain sections. That's kind of the issue. I don't, bike path, you have to have 5 feet, so if you want to do one in each way, that's 10 feet, and the road might only be 16 or 18 feet in some spots, so you don't really have the room to do it. So that's, you know, that's kind of where we're at with it.
Just while you're here, so just for the public information, so the parking lines that have been painted between Pavilion and South Bath, the lines are there, there's not going to be any meters this year, and that would be determined in the future.
Correct.
Okay. And then the edge of these, the dead ends at the streets leading to the boardwalk, are those going to be the orange barriers, or is there, I know there's some kind of plan, but
Yeah,
we know when that's
I
happening?
don't know when that's happening. Maybe orange barriers for this year until we figure out what we're doing full time there, because I know there's a plan in the works for Brighton, and there might be a plan in the works for West End to make it a little nicer, and, you know, and so I don't know if we're gonna continue that down, or that's something that we haven't really.
Do you know when this is gonna open up, any of this?
Probably after the marathon. I think we had to order all the signs and everything, so we have all the signs ordered. I think the signs came in this week. There's no sense in us putting up the signs and having people on there and then throw them back off when we're at the marathon this weekend. So traffic's gonna start working on everything next week, getting all the signs up. So hopefully the first week in May we should.
Good.
That's good.
Any other questions on this item for Jason?
No.
The possibility of a bike path, right, between South Bath, where that one-way is,
Mm-hmm.
would it be unsafe or possible to have the bike path on the opposite side so that they can go in the opposite direction in that area? When they're traveling north, they would sort of have to be with the traffic, but traveling south, they could at least be.
They could have a bike path?
They could have a
You
bike
could
path
do that,
so
but you
that
couldn't
you
have
could go
parking,
south.
but you couldn't have parking on the west side there.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, in the beginning, we wanted to do all three, that was the plan.
Mhm.
Was to figure out where the parking, do a bike path and have some way to drive down there. It just turns out that there isn't enough room by the time they got it all done.
Okay, got it.
Because we were discussing how to do parking head in, you know, with the bike path on one side of it or something like that. But
Mhm.
it doesn't really support it. And again, we may, in speaking of people, find a better idea by the end of the year. We may switch this, or we may be back next year and see how we want to do it. Because we may find a better idea to do the bike path somewhere, or have it go someplace else, or figure something else out. It's kind of a work in progress for this summer, anyway, and hopefully by the summer we'll have it all worked out.
So if the decision is to not have vehicle traffic between West End and Brighton, would that bike path, no matter how you do it for this
Extend
year,
there, yeah, we-
continue,
yeah, we can-
I guess,
we
onto
can put it there,
Brighton, right?
sure. Yep. We can put it there.
Any other questions or comments on this?
Kevin wanted me to do the shuttle route, I think.
Okay, your next item, Director.
Trying to turn this thing off.
How you doing?
Leave it on?
Yeah, leave it on.
I see. Massage parlors? Massage parlors, this is pretty simple. We have been regulating massage parlors and massage licenses probably since the late 90s. Most of you remember Pat King, and that's where a lot of this came from. We had a problem back then with massage parlors, and we regulated who could work there and who had to get a license, and they had to come through the city to get a license. Well, it turns out there's state law that regulates that, and you can't regulate the same thing that a state law regulates. So we had to change it. So this is just an update of the city ordinance that says they now have to get a license by the state, and that takes care of their licensing. They have to get their fingerprints and do everything and get their licensing all done by the state. The only thing we added that we wanted to do is because I kind of wanted to know who was working there. It's kind of important for us to know that. So we made up a employee list, and they're gonna have to fill out this once a year and make sure it's updated, much like people that work in bars or clubs. It's kind of the same thing. And then we can at least go and we can look at this list, and it kind of gives us an idea of who's working there and who's not.
Do you hold on to that, or they have to have that?
I
place?
believe it was written, they have to give it to us once a year, and then if they make any changes or update it, they have to give it to us, and it has to be in their place of business. So if we walk in, we can ask to see it.
Now, when we were recording and registering massage therapists, was there a fee that went along with it?
Correct.
Are we losing? We now losing that fee?
Yeah, I want to say it was $50 or something, right? I want to say it was $50.
We have to, because once the state government
Takes
takes a
over.
position with respect to a particular issue called preemption, and municipalities can't
Oh, I
additionally
understand.
charge.
How many people in the past did we have register for this
I
one?
don't know if it was that many. We don't have that many.
24.
Yeah, we have the Ocean Place. Yeah, we have the Ocean Place, which is really the one that, we have a couple other ones in town, but not a lot. Not like it used to be, that's for sure. We used to have a lot more.
Jason, so all the regulations are the same, but.
I believe they're pretty much the same or more stringent, I believe, than what we were looking at. Yeah, they have to go for their whole state certified, license, massage license and all that stuff, which is kind of what they were saying. They're like, we have to pay you $50, then we have to go through them and pay them, I don't know, $100 or whatever too. It's kind of not fair for us to have to do the same thing again.
I mean, they came to you with that?
Came to us a few years ago. I don't know when the state started doing this. This ordinance was done sometime in the mid-90s, I guess, was the last time it was updated, so.
Any questions?
Okay, can I just for clarification on the previous thing, on the Brighton to West End, so is there a consensus at council that we all agree we do not want equal traffic between Brighton and West End? And I know you don't, I don't. Okay, George, Michael?
So let it be done.
However, I still think we're going to be at a loss in those 20 parking spaces.
Parking in Westport.
Westbourne Avenue over by Tabor. The street's about 20 feet wide, and right now that's parking on both sides of it. And if you can see the picture, this is what it looks like when there's cars parked on both sides, taken by one of our guys, one of our cops. So he thought that probably wasn't good. So our traffic unit went over there and took a look and said, no, it wasn't very good, and they came up with an idea to park on the north side only. So if everyone's okay with it, we'll present it, do the ordinance and present it up by the next meeting.
Is that all the way down, or is just that 170 feet?
Just that 170 feet, I think that's where it's,
There's like a little
Turn there.
that makes it really.
Were the
Right.
neighbors, were the people notified?
what's that?
Were they notified?
They will be when we get ready to do the ordinance. We didn't notify anybody yet until we.
But you informally talk to them, right? Usually they do.
Yeah, we'll give them a call, or we'll go out. We have to get all their addresses and send them out the stuff anyway to be able to do that. But yeah, we couldn't obviously get anybody through there if we wanted to, the way it's configured now.
I just went down there the other day. If you had two cars side by side.
Can't get through.
You cannot.
That's what the picture showed, that there's just no way you can get through, so.
Okay. Any other questions for Jason tonight? Thank you. Okay, review the regular meeting agenda. Anybody have any questions regarding? Okay, Mary Jane?
Resolution 79-16 has to do with the boardwalk benches. I guess my question, the resolution suggests that the installation is included with the buying of the benches, is that right? Well, one says one thing and one says another.
Yeah,
Better check it out.
contract says.
Huh?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. 79-16 says that the installation is included, and the contract itself, it's not marked. Could we check that out, and is it all right if we hold it until the next meeting?
No, we got to order it immediately. Otherwise, we're going to be in trouble. Dave, you know which way it's supposed to be? To my knowledge, it was supposed to be no installation. We were doing the installation.
Could you repeat that, Fred?
To my knowledge, I thought we were doing the installation, unless that's changed.
Oh, so you're aware that it doesn't include installation?
That's what I thought.
Could we check that out before the regular meeting so we have an answer?
I mean, I'd like to get them ordered because we're going to be behind the eight ball if we don't have them.
So Fred, we haven't ordered the benches yet?
Well, verbally, we kind of got them going on it, but we have to codify it with a purchase order.
MRC was an approved state of vendor that you guys approved for the year. In case we go over the threshold, we do that every year. So what we discussed on was, since this was something dealing with the boardwalk, we wanted to do a resolution and have you guys know about it and make sure you're aware of what it costs. And so that's why we did the resolution.
How long does it take to get them once you order them?
4 to 6 weeks. And I can confirm that there is no installation in that price. The installation is gonna be done, was agreed to be done, by the city.
Okay.
So Fred, I see there's 70 on the list. How many will, I guess a lot are just to be held, for replacement and?
No, some go down on the decks, down where, you can step go down at other levels.
Yeah.
And then we have the opposite side of the street, we have some benches at the end of the roadways.
Oh, so we're planning to use all 70?
At some point, yeah. I hope to, let's put it that way. I mean, if we may have some extras, we'll keep.
Right.
We got, we did want to have some for, for repairs and
Right.
movement and whatnot. But the majority of them will be.
But we won't have them much before the 1st of July, will we?
Oh, yes, yes.
Well, that's why it's important, we gotta approve it tonight, because it's,
And when myself, when the group of us that were talking about the benches as a whole, they've agreed to make, say they make 10 at a time, they're gonna ship them down there and we're gonna install them. And then when they make 20, they're gonna ship them down. It's not gonna be one bulk order, and they agreed to do that. They didn't see that being a problem, because we wanted to start getting the benches and putting them up, so the people that are on the boardwalk, they could be utilized.
So what you need to do is change the resolution. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
So that Matarano Recreation Company, Inc. for the purchase, and then the lines would be taken out when it's introduced, and installation. So we read for purchase of custom fabrication of benches.
Period.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'll just mention that there's no installation.
Right. And Kathy will clean that up.
So we're going to go ahead with the resolution.
There's no reason not to,
Right,
as long as
right.
it's corrected before the...
As long as we know we're installing, we're not paying for installation.
Anyone?
No.
Thank you, Mary Jane.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Well, if nothing else, I can read.
Anybody else have anything regarding the regular agenda? Michael?
I'm fine.
John?
I'm fine.
Joy?
Fine.
Okay, then I need a motion to close this workshop meeting.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No, no.
I need a motion to adopt the resolution to go into executive session for the following items: contract negotiations, PB3, Ergo, FEM, Markville, Pier Village 365-day activation plan, litigation, Lepore, Long Branch Partners, and personnel matter will be carried to the next meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
No, no.
The resolution is a roll call, okay, so I'm going to call the roll. Ms. Costelli?
Sorry.
A roll call, I'm sorry, for executive session.
We've been going on.
So, Ms. Costelli?
got signed.
Yes.
Mr. Polo? Mr. Siriani?
Yes.
Dr. Sally?
Yeah, but I'm gonna sign, Jay's gonna take them. That's why I did it.
She needs to.
Well, it's in halfway house.
Or no, or president.